rather big competitors in this industry. Kyler stops our movement, his hands landing on the tops of my shoulders, his expression as bewildered and awestruck as mine. Peyton, do you realize what this means? I stare up into his pretty face. His large green-brown eyes are framed with dark lashes that make any girl envious, and the series of freckles that dot his nose and cheeks make him appear like a rambunctious teenager instead of a 22-year-old man. His soft brown hair, dyed blonde at the tips for the summer, flops over in a short and sexy wave, and his cheekbones are angular and provide him an air of mystery. In short, he's beautiful. If only he weren't interested in men, I'd be head over heels for him. What does it mean? I ask, a curious lilt to my voice, popping my hip out, hands planted at my waist. His mouth forms a broad grin, showing off perfectly white teeth. Pepe, this means LA parties, baby. Nightlife and gorgeous Hollywood boys that need to be fucked. I snort out a laugh and roll my eyes. You have a one-track mind, Kyler Scott. Yanking the letter from his grip, I place it on the table and sit down, running my hand over the paper to straighten out the wrinkles. I'm still lightheaded from this unexpected news. My anxiety begins to brew, percolating hot under my skin as I consider everything I have to do to prepare for this internship. We live in Phoenix, Tempe to be exact, near campus, a 5.5-hour drive to Los Angeles. I'll need to pack, haul my stuff to California, move into a new place, which is always scary when you're not familiar with the area, and leave Kyler and my friends here in Tempe while I'm gone. It's an intimidating proposition for a single woman to do solo when I've lived in this area all my life. Kyler notices my sudden mood swing, as I'm sure the scowl on my face is a sure giveaway. Squatting down on a crouch next to my chair, he slings his arms around my torso and bends forward, pressing his forehead against my side. It'll be okay, Pepe Le Pew, he croons, using the stupid nickname he's called me since our first week together. I know you're nervous about this, and I know you'll miss me like crazy and cry every day without me there because you love me so much. I snort at his overly exaggerated sentiment, dramatically covering my forehead with the back of my hand like they do in old-time movies, feigning grief. Oh, whatever shall I do? Kyler's eyebrows shoot skyward, grinning his pretty boy smile. You'll just have to find another boy toy to keep you occupied during our absences. And if he's gay, all the better for me, but not so much for your little problem. He twirls his fingers at me and frowns as I shake my head at his sex-addled mind. Kyler is the most boy-obsessed guy I've ever met. He's constantly on the prowl, hooking up every weekend and sometimes during the school week with boys he meets at parties, clubs, bars, and even random places like the local farmers market. He's insatiable and is never without a man. He gave up on relationships after he found out his longtime boyfriend had cheated on him. I, however, am the complete opposite and haven't ever been interested in anyone. I've had too many other considerations to tend to, even before my mother was beaten to an inch of her life by her now ex-husband. Perhaps it's the fact that she was on the brink of death and was in the hospital for close to a month that I've sworn off men and relationships. Although my mother and I had a tenuous relationship during my childhood, and I suffered from years of neglect, once I went off to college and lived outside of her house, we became a little bit closer. But everything changed after she was beaten, and for 4 months I put my life on hold and took a leave from school to help with both her recovery from all the physical injuries she endured, but also her alcohol addiction. While my mother is sober now after 15 years of a drunken state and has basically unearthed a brand new person, one that demonstrates her love for me instead of the years of mistreatment, the change in her behavior comes a little too late. There's still too much emotional damage within me caused by her careless negligence during my formative years. Emotional damage that took its toll on my psyche and body. It was during my teens that I developed an unhealthy eating pattern, which my psychologist diagnosed.